Welcome to Strictly Business. Welcome to our 50th episode. We are shooting at Perigee now in Lee, Massachusetts. And,
Welcome to the Berkshires.
welcome to Strictly Business, and this is our 50th episode. You can be a little louder. I know it's a quiet restaurant.
I didn't want to yell.
We are shooting at Perigee in Lee, Massachusetts. This is Corey. I'm Alfonso. Welcome to the show. And we'll do a spotlight on Perigee in our next segment. So welcome to the show, and we'll get right into the hot topics. First up, Fed is not sweating high oil prices. Right now, we're in end of March. It's roughly around $3.50 to $3.55 in the areas, and they're saying it's going to go up to $4 by May. But according to the Federal Reserve, the nation's economic recovery is getting stronger, but the inflation remains in check. They acknowledge that there's a significant increase in commodity prices, such as oil, in the last meeting they had, but they believe the inflation pressures remain subdued. Oil sucks.
Well, I actually have I heat my house with oil, and it went up 80 cents since November 2010.
Wow.
So in November it was $2.70, and now I'm at like $3.50 a gallon. But gas is just going up and up.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got my car in November of '09, it cost $40 to fill up the tank. Now it's costing about $60 or $70.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost doubled. And to a certain point, I remember seeing on Facebook that people are like doing a big protest, and I think the day already passed, and they're like, oh no, don't pump gas on this day. And I'm pretty sure that I actually ended up pumping gas that day, and probably more than half of the. Yeah, so.
It's just one of those things you can't go without. So it's hard to go on strike against the price of gas or
well, 2
oil.
years. 2 years ago, the prices went up to a little over $4, and then went back down. So it's just it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, like whatever.
The cost of living in general is increasing.
Yeah.
Food is increasing.
They're giving out more welfare to the people too. So well,
right.
It's just, you know what I mean, and I don't know.
But at the same time, they're doing a lot of cuts with federal and state fundings.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
budgets are being cut within school systems.
But then the small business, they just gave out a loan. They're giving out the Small Business Association. They're supposed to be giving us so much money.
Right.
And there's actually one in Agawam. Millennium Press just got lent out some odd number of $1 million for a business loan, and I mean that's a lot, and they do fairly well. So now they're just getting more money. Mm-hmm. They should give it to the businesses they need the help, not so much the ones that are doing well. But all right, next topic: Japan. The earthquake in Japan takes a toll on U.S. tech companies. The impact of the massive earthquake that struck off the coast of Japan a couple weeks ago, it's pretty much causing havoc even all the way down to Texas. Mm-hmm. Texas Instruments they have a couple plant productions in Japan, in Miho.
I don't know, I'm not sure. Miho.
Miho. And they're both north of Tokyo, it says, and what it says. I got this article from CNN Money, CNN Business app, online, whatever. Let's see. It's responsible for 10% of the company's output last year. It will be offline until May, and it won't be fully operational till the middle of July. And then it means shipping won't be restored until September. Mm-hmm. So they're losing a big chunk of their business just from there.
It's such a tragedy.
Yeah.
It's funny because when things like this happen, you don't think about the trickle-down effect, but it's just going to affect all different industries here in the U.S., across the entire planet, really. One of the things that they were talking about in the article was that Japan is the world's leading source of semiconductor and LCD manufacturing equipment. And you think about how many different industries use this type of equipment. It's not just TVs.
Yeah.
The medical industry is going to be all aspects of business. This is really...
Even though you might not notice it now, it's going to trickle the effect of it later down the road. It's just going to be insane.
It's important that we all try to do our part.
I
think a lot of the celebrities are really stepping up and trying to promote. I know Lady Gaga has a wristband that she's selling, and I think what's her name? The dark hair. Who just got a divorce.
that really narrows it down. The celebrity with dark hair, and I got
It'll come
divorced.
to me. She was just married to Jesse James.
Sandra Bullock?
Yes, I think she just donated like $1 million.
See, those are celebrities that are like, they're saying they're going to do stuff for like donating $1 million, not the ones that are just like they're putting their face on it and they don't
Right.
donate anything themselves. I can't stand those because they're like, oh, you should do this, and they're asking people who who are living check to check to donate money, but the ones who are making millions and millions, they fork over like $1,000, which is like $1 to like
Right.
us normal folk. But yeah, so if you can do your part, do what you can. Next topic, startup visa could boost U.S. entrepreneurship. It's a new legislation aims to keep skilled workers in the country if they start companies that create American jobs. So pretty much there was a DREAM Act a few years ago that for a citizenship program for children of illegal immigrants. The Senate didn't let it go through. Pretty much they didn't want to give immigrants visas to work here after they were going to school. It was such a big drawn out process to actually get a visa after you graduating from school. Senators John Kerry and Richard Lugar, again I'm bad with names, they introduced a bill that promises to slow down the outflow of skilled talent to boost entrepreneurship in the U.S. Pretty much people finish school and then they go back to Japan, India, or wherever they came from, and they're starting their businesses there
Right.
when they could be starting them here.
Right. They have greater opportunities abroad because they can't hold a job because you're waiting for your visa and you could not get it and have to leave and pack up all of your stuff and leave the country. They were calling it immigration limbo, and really I don't know what that would even feel like. Living in constant fear that tomorrow you'd have to leave the country.
Yeah, pack up your. I almost said never mind. Pack up your stuff and go. But okay, so here are the 3 things that the legislation will provide visas. Number 1, entrepreneurs living outside the U.S. I can't talk today. Entrepreneurs living outside the U.S. qualified as an American investor agrees to fund their entrepreneurial ventures with a minimum investment of $100,000. 2 years later, the startup must have created 5 new American jobs and have either raised more than $500,000 in financing or be generating more than $500,000 in yearly revenue. Number 2, workers on H-1B1, sounds like the big flu or whatever. Workers on H-1B visas or graduate from U.S. universities in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or computer science are eligible if they have annual income of at least $30,000 or assets of $60,000 and have had American investor committed to investing at least $20,000 in their ventures. The third one, foreign entrepreneurs whose business has generated at least $100,000 in sales from the U.S. after 2 years. The startup must have created 3 new American jobs and either raised more than $100,000 in financing or be generated more than $100,000 in yearly revenue. So if you actually understood everything I just said and you qualify, then you can stay.
If not, find somebody to marry.
Corey's off the market, but I'm sure we have a lot of guest co-hosts that's been on that's been single. So. Anything else you want to say about that?
No, I think it's important to value everybody. You invest yourself in going to school here.
Yeah.
You kind of form your new home. You don't want to have to leave.
Yeah, and a lot of them come here to escape whatever was going on in their country anyway. So hopefully this will change, and we'll have more. It will help the economy overall if they have more jobs available after starting these businesses. Number 4, more consumers are saying they plan to disconnect cable TV. The pay TV subscriber rolls actually increased 0.2% over 211,000 subscribers in 2010, which is worse than it was past 2 quarters, people have just been taking off the cable between Hulu and YouTube and Netflix and even iTunes. People have just been web-based, and they're canceling, Comcast or Xfinity or Dish and everything just because they're free and they're online.
Right.
People can watch them to their convenience. I mean, I expect this, and they're even saying, the younger generation that don't even grow up with cable are just gonna be already used to not having it with these sites, and they're just in the future they're gonna have. That's the one thing they're gonna have trouble with is hitting that younger demographic that don't watch it.
And with the younger demographic, everybody has cell phones now, so a lot of people don't really care to have a landline in their home. but it's easier to just get the package or the bundle, they call it, through Comcast, where you have your internet, TV, and telephone landline all connected together, and it's cheaper to have all three in the bundle than it is to just get the internet and
Yeah.
the TV. So if they start eliminating, if you don't want cable and you don't want a phone, then you're only left for an internet cost, and it's a lot cheaper.
When the prices are going to go, I guarantee prices will go up on the internet because they're going to need to make money somehow.
Right.
People are canceling TV. But it's one of those things, I mean, if you don't have a DVR, which it's an extra charge, or a TiVo or anything like that, and you don't watch your shows, you go online and watch them because they post them online anyway.
Right.
So people that are scheduled, they can't, what are you going to do? Like, so, like for me, I know most of my shows that I watch are all DVR'd. I don't sit there and wait and like, oh my god, it's 8 o'clock Thursday, I gotta watch a show. So
A lot of these cable companies run promotions, and in this article there were people who were making comments, and some people get so upset with the promotions that they have, because if you don't get anything, like a $300 rebate, or if you don't get the additional channels in the package or something like that, people get really upset and want
Yeah.
to cancel and go join with another network or cable provider.
Yep.
So it's interesting that people can get so mad about this stuff and not even want cable anymore, but it's because there's other avenues of watching what they want to watch.
yeah, exactly. There's people are just trying to save the money, and whether it be for cable, and I know like a lot of people have cable just because there's HBO and on demand, things like that, where they're not really online on the internet. But it's one of those things where I think it's just little by little I'm gonna start seeing it dwindle. I think more and more people are just gonna go, because there's like Boxy now, Google TV, where you can just search even through all the channels on the
Right.
internet, and you can watch TV through Google TV, and that's gonna be another one.
Even Netflix has a lot of the TV shows.
Yeah,
You can purchase them through Netflix, or you can even, buy the whole DVD set.
yeah, and even they're saying Facebook is integrating like movies in Facebook now. Well, what else are they going to do?
I know.
They're running out of ideas. So, even Facebook in the future is going to be, a spot to be watching. So, I don't know. Corey, thanks for coming. And we'll be right back with a spotlight from Perigee.
Cambridge Credit Counseling is a nonprofit credit and housing counseling agency located right here in Western Massachusetts. Our certified counselors can help you plan to pay off your credit card debt, explore your foreclosure options, and help you understand if a reverse mortgage is right for you. Call us at 1-800-CAMBRIDGE to learn how we can help.
And welcome back to the Strictly Business Spotlight. I'm here with the owner and chef of Perigee and Lee, Don and Jim. Say hi to the viewers.
Hi, viewers.
So what's the history of Perigee?
Well, we opened in November 2009. Perigee is a restaurant that started backwards. I opened a catering company 5 years ago, and the catering company was working out of commercial kitchen space that we rented on a per job basis. Worked great when we first started, because when you're slow, when you're building your customer base, if you don't have business, you don't make money, you also don't lose any money. My overhead was very low. By the end of the summer of 2009, when I was doing upwards of 2 weddings a weekend, it got kind of old, and I decided I was either going to find my own space or I was going to quit the business. And then I kind of had that little eureka moment where I said, I've always wanted to run a restaurant, and that's where I called on him.
Yeah.
And dragged him out of retirement to help me out. So we started as a catering company that turned into a restaurant, as opposed to a restaurant that then branches into catering. And I think you'll see at the restaurant a lot of little catering touches all over the place.
So what kind of food do you guys offer here?
It's what we call Berkshire cuisine. It's a cosmopolitan interpretation of New England favorites with an ethnic twist and something for everyone.
So Corey and I were from the Pioneer Valley. So why should people outside of the Berkshires come and visit?
Best darn food in Western Massachusetts.
Besides, we're here.
Exactly, and the most charming chef in honor.
So what's your favorite part, since you guys opened your doors, what's the favorite part of running a restaurant?
For me, it's the day-to-day with the customers. It's very special for me when I see people who started coming when we first opened and come back again and again and again for birthdays, celebrations, special moments in their lives, when they're happy, when they're sad, and I get to know them on a very intimate level. That's a little bit different for me than catering, where I'm in a very integral moment of what's usually the most important day of a person's life, and then you don't really see them again. And the only person you get to know very, very well is the client. It's not all the guests. Here, I get to know each and every customer on a really deep level, and I enjoy that immensely.
Yeah, and for me, it's watching the restaurant grow from nothing to where we are now. It's only been a little over a year, so you know we're doing really well, and it's very exciting. Yeah.
So what's the website if they want to get more information on the restaurant?
It's www.Perigee, P like Peter, E like Edward, R like Ralph, I like ice cream, G like girl, E like Edward, E like Edward, dash restaurant, the dash is important, .com.
Okay, is there anything else you want to tell the viewers?
Come on down. I would love to see you. We get a few people from the Pioneer Valley, but we certainly would like more. I mean, they should see their cousins in the Berkshires.
Actually, what I would also say is that Jim and I both teach cooking classes on a regular basis in the Pioneer Valley area.
Oh.
And in fact, just today, we had a customer come for brunch who wanted to see me, and she had an article that was written up in the Springfield Republican about a cooking class Jim and I taught, and said, I'm here because I saw your article in the Springfield Republican.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Dawn writes an article for a couple of publications in the Pioneer Valley.
Oh, so are they, if they want to find out more about the cooking classes, can they go on the website? Will it be on the website? Or?
They can go on the website, or they can contact me directly. That would be Dawn, my name, D-A-W-N, at, again, the Perigee-restaurant.com.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome very much.
And we'll be right back. So thank you for tuning in for the first episode of Berkshire Week, our 50th episode.
It was really fun, and I'm looking forward to hitting up the Lee outlets.
See you guys next episode. We'll be shooting up Perigee again.